What is up, everybody? Macro Ghost here. Thursday, February 19th, I'm back live for another video to cover IBRX because whenever I have a thought that I think that can add you value, I'm going to want to bring it to the market, to the YouTube market. I do have a Discord. I'm in various other Discord to help people in those Discords to get my voice out. But let's be honest, YouTube is the platform to get your voice out. And that is why I started this channel. So let's begin. This is a 1-minute chart of IBRX, but it's on a daily. As you can see, this is from 18th to the 19th. So this is one day right here. Pre-market, daily, post-market. And what we can see happening is if we zoom in, I asked people on YouTube, they didn't really answer me. I asked people in my Discord, I'm like, what's going on here, guys? They didn't really answer me. So I thought it would be value added to explain what's going on here. And from the start of the day, boom, up, consolidate, up, consolidate, up, consolidate, up. This is not normal. Let's go. Let's look at a normal trading day. Look at pump up, consolidate, up, consolidate, down. That's normal. That's normal supply demand. That's people buying, people selling, up, down, up, down, up, down, down. Go back even further here. Well, I mean, IBRX is going to be really bullish in the short term, but here's an example. Up, down, back up, back down. So we go and look at our IBRX trading activity for yesterday, today, depending on when you're listening to this, and it's just up, and it's up $2 and change, like 45% or something like that, on the EU news that we brought forth to the market 36 hours before the IBRX press release. And that was very interesting to me, that why the market didn't digest that on Tuesday. People were asking me, I'm like, I don't know. I don't have these answers. I'm 20 years in the market. This is a first to me where information is publicly disseminated by the EU, FDA of the EU, and it doesn't get worked into the market immediately. It was waiting for Patrick Soon-Shiong's press release, which is wild to me. That's not how markets are supposed to work, in my opinion. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But if you like this stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. The Macro Ghost is here, and he's going to be here for you, whether it's IBRX, SLS, bonds, stocks, commodities, crypto, Bitcoin. I cover it all. Anyway, that's my public service announcement. Let's get back to the price action. The price action is, what this is telling me is that there's tremendous demand on the bid. There's a market maker. He makes a market. There's a couple of them. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Wedbush. All these guys are making their market for their clients on the sell side. They're on the sell side. On the buy side is Fidelity. That's their clients, the big guys, the big money. And Fidelity has a buy order of 500,000 shares. Well, Goldman Sachs isn't just going to slam the offer. They're going to work that in throughout the whole day. Or a big short seller, let's say Twitter LARP ABC, Mr. Twitter LARP, has a big short position he needs to cover because he's in a big loss. Goldman Sachs is going to try and work that the best they can on the bid. And they're going to also try to hold the offer down. They're going to hold demand down. So there's 80 million shares being traded. They have inventory. There's only like 330 million in the float. The float is different than the total stock. Total stock is Patrick Soon-Shiong's share, which is not floated on the market. That's not tradable, ladies and gentlemen. People can't borrow against that. They can't short against that. That's Patrick's share, and it's not floated. Important distinction. So 330 million IBRX shares floated. I think a lot of that is, and then a lot of shorts borrow against that, and they have to get out. And if they don't get out, they're going to have to get out higher because this isn't coming down. You see the bid. Look at the bid. The bid is holding. We are not coming back down. We are staying. That is big trouble for the shorts. All day long, 8-hour trading day, every single minute, there's a bid, a strong bid. That tells me the shorts are in trouble. Do I know the stock's going to go up to $10, $12? No, I don't. I'm just a human being. I'm just a speculator. I have no fucking clue. But I'm telling you my logic. That's my logic. You can accept it or reject it. Up to you. Okay? Also, what I wanted to say here, I wanted to use some logic to tell you, to prepare you guys for what may come. What is the percentage chance of a maybe? I would say right now it's around 50%. That there is a huge gamma radiation, incredible Hulk short squeeze that we'll send this from $8 to $12 or $8 to $15 or $8 to $30. If that happens, and there's a 50%, I allocate a 50% chance on my binomial tree. That's geek talk. I'm giving it a 50% chance of a gamma squeeze, a huge squeeze, 15, 30, who knows? But if that happens, I need you guys to be prepared. What does being prepared mean? Let's say you have 1,000 shares. Let's keep it really simple at a nice round number, 1,000. It squeezes to 15. I wouldn't be taking screenshots and showing my friends. I would be selling 20 shares out of those 1,000 at 15. Let's say it pumps to 20. I wouldn't be taking screenshots again. I would be selling 25 shares of those 1,000. You see what I'm getting at here, right? You got 1,000 shares. Let's sell some. We don't know where a top is. We can't call tops. Impossible. Impossible to call tops. Given we can't call a top, a local top, we don't know where price is going to be. The more squeeze, the more orange juice that is squeezed, the more it will come back to the mean reversion, we call it. Go back into history or Grok or ChatGPT this, and ChatGPT, the Volkswagen short squeeze, I believe it was 2014, 2013, 2012. I'm not sure the year. The Volkswagen short squeeze, what happened to the price, and then what happened 2 weeks, a month, 2 months later. You'll get your answer of what I want to communicate to you. That in a squeeze, you want to be selling and taking profits in a methodical way. I have 1,000 shares. Let's say I have 1,000 shares. I'm selling 15 at 50. I'm selling 20 shares at 15. I'm selling another 30 shares at 20. I'm selling another 40 shares at 25. I'm selling 100 shares at 30. Why am I increasing my sell count, my share sell? Because on a dollar cost average, that benefits me. My average exit will be, on a dollar cost average basis, will be about $25. That's great, because if it comes back to 12, I look like a genius now, and I can buy all that back. So let's not be a deer in the headlights. Let's be methodical. Let's use our rationality and logic to make informed, good investment decisions. Even if you love this stock, even if you think it's going to 200, you can still be logical and say, this is a huge squeeze. I'm going to take some profits and I'm going to wait. And meanwhile, your bag is intact. So you have 950 left or 900 left. Big deal. Be smart. Be logical. Don't get caught with a deer in the headlights, because that's not good business practice in the trading and capital markets realm. Thank you very much. If you made it to the end, like, subscribe, share, comment. It all helps. And I'll see you on Twitter. I'll see you on Reddit. And I'll see you back on YouTube in the next video. Have a good day.